Arm training, should it be all pump style or hard and heavy like the rest of our bodies? I'm gonna dig into what's most effective in my opinion. All right guys, so if you've been a long time follower of the channel, you know that all of my arm days are strictly pump based. It's perfect form. It's drilling the target muscle and trying to keep everything else out of it, meaning glutes, hips, ass, shoulders, forearms, and just nail that bicep and tricep. So I'm gonna kind of give you the answer first, and then we're gonna work backwards, right? So early in my bodybuilding career, I was very naive in the fact that I thought that arms were like the rest of my body. You had to be training them hard and heavy, progressing up every week in either strength or reps. And I didn't really pay a ton of attention to nailing what I would consider perfect form. I just thought if I put more weight on the straight bar for curls or more weight on the push down stack, that was gonna be the answer to growth and bigger arms. And because I always had such a great muscle connection with my mind to muscle, I never really thought about what would be more optimal for long-term growth, because I could feel it. No matter if I went heavy or if I went pump style, I still felt it. But what I started to run into as I was getting heavier and heavier and stronger in straight bar curls and skull crushers and things like that, what I found is my elbows, my forearms, and my wrists were taking an absolute fucking beating. And then when I look in the mirror and watch myself lift, I was seeing my front delt get a ton into it. So it took a lot of maturing mentally to step away and say, hey, like, let's get away from all those free weight movements, progressing up in weight, and let's go with exercises that I feel and really drill this target tissue. So I'm gonna give you some hard examples here with a push down to start. Fill in the blank with any attachment. I just have this stretch handle in here. It's not a big deal. So I wanna show you two things. I'm gonna explode down to where if I'm trying to rip weight and really just like pump reps, versus what a perfect form rep looks like. And I want you to come to a conclusion what you think would make your arms grow, right? So let's start with the explosive one, right? Here, rip, 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 rip. And you see I'm kind of getting my hips into it, right? Now, watch this. Versus this form, squeezing those triceps. Nothing else is getting into that motion, nothing. So, you look at that push down for an example, right? The weights I use now are actually lighter than what I used to use when my arms were significantly smaller, but I'm hammering a target tissue within a 12 to 15 or even 20 rep range, and that's where I start to see all my arm growth begin to go up and all of that elbow, forearm, and wrist pain go away. So, in my opinion, with arms, that is gonna be your go-to. Do not think you have to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger each week. We do all the heavy pressing for chest that's gonna nail that overload for dips, for strips, push-ups, for incline dumbbell, incline barbell press. That's gonna overload that tricep. And if you're training chest twice a week, think about how much load those triceps are taking. So when it comes to an actual arm day, or if you do push-pull legs, once you get to the arm portion, I just want you to pump blood in that tricep. I don't want you to think about loading it even more weight. I want you to think about pump and filling up that tissue as much as we can. All right, guys. Early in my bodybuilding career, this is where I was told you gotta grow arms with a straight bar curl. So each week, guess what we did? We loaded more and more weight on there. I actually got up to where I was using 185 for sets of 10, which is fucking stupid. Like, in the grand scheme of life, that's what I should have been rowing with perfect form, much less doing barbell curls with. So let me show you what the old school me would do with a barbell curl and how I thought I was growing arms. See that? Very rhythmic, ton of front delt, getting my hips into it, bouncing it off my quads. Now, compare that to what we're about to do with a dumbbell curl. Not only was my form with that straight bar terrible, it was wrecking my fucking forearms. And this is because as you get bigger, like if you notice, like I can't even get my hands fully supinated, right? Like that's unnatural. So let's do a dumbbell to where we can go to what feels natural, but then also let's nail perfect form while we're at it. So I'm gonna pick up these 25-pound dumbbells and let me show you what I'm talking about with perfect form. Here, drill, 1, 2. 1, 2. Look at that control and form, guys. Nothing but fucking bicep. Nothing. So not only will my pump be better, but but I'm working the tissue properly. There you have it. In my opinion, for the optimal arm growth, for both in the moment and longevity, is gonna be pump style arm workouts. So if you look at workouts like we did here, where you drive tons of blood into our arms, it's fast paced, it's on the higher rep range of 10, 15, sometimes even 20, and I'm drilling the tissue, guys. Like, that's what I want you to think about for arms. Like, don't think about progressive overload, because at the end of the day, if you look at guys who have some of the best arms in the business, they do that with moderate to what most people would consider light loads. Like, I can't tell you how many times I walk in the gym and there's fucking bikini chicks and 165-pound dudes curling way more than me, but their arms are pathetic. They're small. And it's because they aren't nailing that tissue, where if I slowed them down, made them use perfect forms, squeeze the tissue, move at a fast pace, and not scroll Instagram for 6 minutes between their fucking sets, they would find that their arms feel like they want to explode, and they wake up the next day and have like T-Rex arms where they can't wash their hair, can't brush their teeth, everything hurts. So in my opinion, fast pace, supersets, giant sets, you know, bam, 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 bang them out, higher reps, shorter rest periods, that's what you do for arms, guys. Put this into play. Get your arms growing now and stretch that tape measure over 20 inches. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe. Chris Evans TV.